Rise and Shine Best Motivational Speech Compilation Ever. Good morning, champions. Yeah, I said champions, because if you're listening to this, it means something inside of you hasn't given up. It means you're still reaching, still fighting, still believing there's more to life than what you've seen. Let me tell you something real simple, but powerful. You were not born to just survive. You were born to shine. Every morning you open your eyes as another vote of confidence from life. It's like life saying, hey, I'm not done with you yet. So why would you act like you're done with life? I know what you're thinking. It's hard, I get it, bills piling up, dreams delayed, people doubting you, heck, sometimes even you doubt you, but let me ask you, when did we start believing that struggle was a sign to stop? No, my friend. Struggle isn't your enemy, it's your teacher, it's your sculptor, it's the fire that forges steel. You want a life that matters, then you better be ready to face some storms. See, people will look at you and try to write your story before the ink's even dry. But you hold the pen, and as long as you've got breath, you've got a chance to flip the script. Don't wait for perfect. Don't wait for permission. The sun doesn't ask the clouds if it's okay to rise. It just rises, and so should you. Rise even when no one claps, shine even when no one believes, grind even when no one sees, because greatness, it's not given, it's earned, in the dark, in the quiet. In the early mornings when your feet hit the floor and you whisper, let's go again, and when it gets tough, and it will, don't ask for the road to be easier, ask to be stronger, don't cry for fewer problems. Fight to grow better wings. Life is going to knock you down, but you know what? The ground is no place for a warrior, so get up, stand tall, look your challenges in the eye and say, you picked the wrong one today, you've got this. Not because it's easy, not because it's fair, but because you were built for this. You're not average, you're not ordinary, you're next level, and it's time you start acting like it. Rise and shine, world. A new legend just woke up. 1. You were born to shine, not just survive. 2. Struggles are not stop signs, they are lessons. 3. Write your own story. Don't let others define you. 4. Rise even when no one believes in you. 5. Greatness is earned in the dark, not gifted in the light. You were born to shine, not just survive. Think about that for a second. Really let it sink in. Life didn't just throw you on this planet to pay bills, face problems, and eventually disappear. No, there's more to you than that. You weren't designed to crawl through life hoping to make it to the weekend. You weren't made to just get by. Deep inside you, under the doubt, the fear, the noise of the world, is something brilliant, something rare. And it's been waiting for you to wake it up. From the moment you took your first breath, there was a spark. You might not remember it, but it was there. That innocent fire that looked at the world like everything was possible. When you were a child, you didn't ask if you could do something. You just did it. You danced when there was no music. You spoke with confidence even when you didn't have all the words. That wasn't arrogance. That was pure light. That was the real you before the world taught you to dim it down. But somewhere along the way, something changed. Maybe someone laughed at your dream. Maybe life hit you hard with rejection. Maybe you started believing the lie that you're just average, and so, bit by bit, that light inside began to flicker. You stopped dreaming as big, you started settling, you traded passion for comfort. You started surviving, but surviving isn't living. Surviving is waking up every day with no real fire, just doing what you're supposed to do. It's going through the motions, eat, work, sleep on, repeat. You start thinking that your dreams are too wild, that your talents are not enough, that someone else always gets the lucky breaks. That's the trap. That's what survival mode does. It convinces you to live small. It convinces you to hide your shine so you don't get burned. But here's the truth. You are the fire. You've always had it in you. You just forgot. You've got ideas the world hasn't seen yet. You've got energy that can light up a room. Words that can move hearts, a spirit that can break barriers. But you'll never see that power if you keep playing safe. You don't need to be perfect to shine. You just need to be real, authentic, bold enough to show up even when you're scared. Think about the people who inspire you. The ones who make your heart race with excitement, who push you to be better. They're not perfect. They've failed, cried, doubted themselves too. But the difference is, they didn't stay down. They didn't shrink to fit someone else's version of who they should be. They stepped into the light, scars and all, and that's what made them shine. See, you don't have to change who you are to shine. You have to own who you are. That means embracing your story, your past, your strengths, your flaws, all of it. It's all part of the light, even the pain, especially the pain, the things that broke you. They're also the things that built you. Every setback, every no, every lonely night. It shaped you into someone stronger, someone deeper, someone capable of turning darkness into light. But you've got to choose it. You've got to stop dimming your glow just to fit into a world that's afraid of real brightness. You've got to stop asking for permission to be who you already are. No one is coming to save you. No one's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, "It's your time." You've got to rise and say it for yourself. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to break molds, to create waves, to shift atmospheres. But that only happens when you stop surviving and start living, when you stop holding back and start stepping forward, when you realize that fear isn't a stop sign, it's a green light. Fear shows up right before transformation. Look, there will always be a voice that says, "You're not enough." Ignore it. That voice doesn't know your fire. That voice has never seen you truly give everything you've got. You've got so much more inside you than you think. Dreams you haven't touched yet. Power you haven't tapped into, but it's waiting on you, waiting for the day you stop just surviving and decide to let yourself shine. Struggles are not stop signs. They're lessons. When life hits hard, the first thing most people want to do is stop. They freeze, they question everything. Why me? Why now? What did I do wrong? And before they know it, they're stuck. Not because they can't move, but because they've mistaken the struggle for a dead end. But the truth is, struggles are not the end of the road. They're not there to break you. They're there to teach you, to shape you, to reveal what you're made of. Every great story has a battle. Every strong person has a scar. You show me someone who's accomplished something meaningful, and I'll show you someone who's walked through fire to get there. Struggles are part of the process, not proof that you're failing. In fact, if you're struggling, it means you're in the arena. It means you're fighting. It means you're moving. Even if the progress feels invisible, it's easy to smile when everything's smooth. It's easy to feel confident when the path is clear, but real growth. That happens in the chaos. That happens in the moments when nothing makes sense, when you're tired, when your heart is heavy, and yet you keep showing up. Struggles are where strength is born, not the fake, surface-level strength, but the kind that builds deep inside you. The kind that whispers, "You can bend, but you won't break." See, life doesn't test the weak. It tests the strong, not to punish them, but to prepare them. Struggles reveal your blind spots. They show you where you've been settling, where you've been small, where you've been hiding from your own greatness. They call you out. They say, "Look closer, go deeper, there's more in you." But most people run from that. They see discomfort and label it as danger. They hear the word no and think it means stop. But sometimes a no is just redirection. Sometimes the closed door is guiding you to the right one. You're not being punished. You're being positioned, and if you learn how to listen, the struggle starts to make sense. Remember, diamonds are formed under pressure. Gold is purified by fire. Muscles grow through resistance. So why do we think we're any different? Why do we believe that a smooth path means success when history shows us that greatness is carved through adversity? The truth is, struggle is a teacher like no other. It doesn't give you a syllabus. It doesn't ask if you're ready. It shows up uninvited and starts the lesson. Sometimes the lesson is patience. Sometimes it's grit. Sometimes it's faith, but there's always a message hidden inside the mess. You've just got to stay in it long enough to find it. Most people quit too soon. They mistake the struggle for a sign that they're off track, when really, it's the proof that they're on the right one. Because the path to success is never straight. It's filled with bumps, setbacks, unexpected turns, but every struggle has a purpose. Every storm has a reason, and the ones who rise are the ones who trust the process, even when it's painful. Think back to some of the hardest moments of your life, the ones you thought would break you, the ones that kept you up at night. Now look at you. You made it through, and you didn't just survive, you changed. You grew, you became wiser, stronger, more grounded. You may have scars, but those scars are proof that you didn't give up. Struggles have a way of stripping away what doesn't matter. They cut through the fluff and force you to face what's real. You find out who you are when everything else is stripped away. You find out who your real friends are, what your true values are, what actually drives you. Struggles bring clarity. They humble you. They focus you. But here's the secret. If you can learn to see the struggle differently, everything changes. It stops being something to fear and becomes something to use. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" That shift in mindset is everything. It turns a victim into a student. It turns pain into power. You don't grow when things are easy. You grow when you face the hard stuff and keep going. You grow when you fail and try again. When you get knocked down and stand up anyway. That's where the magic happens, not in the comfort zone, but in the trenches. So the next time life hits hard, pause, breathe, don't run, don't quit, lean in. Ask what the struggle is trying to reveal. Maybe it's building your patience. Maybe it's teaching you to trust yourself. Maybe it's opening your eyes to something you never would have seen otherwise. Whatever it is, it's working for you, not against you. Struggles don't mean stop. They mean learn. They mean grow. They mean you're on the edge of a breakthrough. Write your own story. Don't let others define you. From the moment you're born, the world starts writing on you. Parents, teachers, friends, society, everyone's got an opinion. They tell you what's right, what's wrong, what success looks like, what you should wear, who you should be. And if you're not careful, you end up living a script that was never yours to begin with. You become a character in someone else's play. You say the lines they wrote for you. You walk a path they picked. And one day you wake up, and even though you've followed the rules, something feels off. It's like you're living, but not alive. That's what happens when you give the pen of your life to other people. They don't mean harm, most of them. They're just passing down what they know, what they believe, what worked for them, or what didn't. But here's the thing, your story isn't theirs to write. Your voice, your vision, your values, those belong to you, and no one can write them the way you can. You've got a unique journey. Nobody else has your exact blend of experience, pain, talent, and perspective. That means nobody else can walk your path, and yet, most people are out here trying to copy someone else's footsteps. They think if they do what others did, they'll get the same result, but life doesn't work like that. The map that guided someone else might not lead you anywhere. You've got to create your own map. You've got to step into the unknown, take risks, make your own mistakes, and learn your own lessons. See, it's tempting to let others lead. It feels safer. You don't have to take full responsibility when you're just following orders, but safe isn't satisfying. Comfort zones are quiet, but they're empty. You can be comfortable and still feel like something's missing. That something is usually you, your voice, your truth, your real self that's been pushed aside to please the crowd. But here's the deal, nobody can define your worth. Nobody gets to decide what you're capable of. People will try, they'll label you, tell you you're not smart enough, not talented enough, too late, too early, too this or not enough that. But none of those labels stick unless you wear them, and you only wear them when you forget you've got the pen. So ask yourself, whose script are you living? Who made the rules you're following? Did you choose them, or were they handed down to you without question? Because once you start asking those questions, you begin to wake up. You start to see the invisible walls you've been living behind, and when you see them, you can break them. Writing your own story means making bold decisions. It means saying no when everyone expects you to say yes. It means standing out when you'd rather blend in. It means trusting your gut even when it doesn't make sense to anyone else. And yeah, it's hard. People will criticize you. Some will walk away. They won't understand why you're not doing what they did. They might call you crazy, but that's because they're reading from a different book. Let them. You're not here to repeat history. You're here to make it, and that means being brave enough to walk your own path. Not the one that looks best on paper, but the one that feels right in your soul. That path might be messy, it might be slow, you might fall more than once, but every step will be yours. Every line of that story will belong to you. And don't wait until you've got it all figured out. Start messy, start scared, just start, because writing your story doesn't mean you have all the answers. It means you're willing to look for them. It means you're willing to live the questions until the answers show up. It means you're not afraid to be seen in progress, to fail in public, to grow in real time. People will always have opinions. That'll never stop. But their opinions don't pay your bills. They don't carry your pain. They don't walk in your shoes, so why should they hold the pen? The moment you stop chasing approval is the moment you start finding freedom, real freedom, the kind that lets you breathe deeper, speak louder, live fuller. When you stop trying to be who they want, you start becoming who you're meant to be, and that version of you, that's the one the world needs. Don't waste your life editing a story that was never yours. Tear it up if you have to. Start fresh, start real, even if the first chapter is shaky, even if people laugh, because eventually the same ones who doubted you will look back and realize you didn't just live, you created. You led, you owned your truth and let it lead the way. Rise even when no one believes in you. There's something powerful about standing up when everyone expects you to stay down. When the world turns its back, when the applause fades, when your circle shrinks and the silence gets loud, that's the moment that separates the average from the unstoppable. It's easy to rise when people are cheering for you, when support is flooding in, when encouragement is all around. But what about when it's just you, when the only voice pushing you forward is your own? That's where the real strength is born. At some point in life, you'll feel it. That moment when nobody seems to believe in what you're doing. Friends may stop calling, family may not understand, people may question your decisions, your timing, your path, and in that lonely space, you've got a choice. You can quit. You can shrink, or you can rise anyway. You can decide that your purpose is louder than their doubts. You can choose to believe in yourself when no one else does. Some of the most successful people in history were counted out, laughed at, ignored. But they didn't stay down. They didn't wait for the world to catch up to their vision. They moved, they built, they created, not because everyone said they could, but because something inside whispered that they must. That's the kind of belief you need, the kind that comes from within, not from the crowd, because the truth is, the crowd is fickle. One day they love you, the next they forget your name. You can't build a future on the shaky ground of public opinion. You've got to build it on a foundation of faith. Faith in your potential, in your work ethic, in your mission. And when things get quiet, when your efforts go unnoticed, when your wins don't make headlines, keep going. Keep rising. The people who make it in this world aren't always the most talented. They're the most determined. They're the ones who show up when it's hard, who keep pushing when progress feels invisible, who stay focused when everyone else is distracted. They don't need a crowd to validate them. Their vision is enough. Their why is strong. They rise not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. And maybe you've been there standing at the edge of something big, only to be met with silence or skepticism. Maybe you've shared your dreams and heard nothing but reasons why it won't work. That hurts. It can make you question yourself. But here's what you've got to remember. Most people can't see past their own limitations. When they say it's impossible, they're really saying it's impossible for them. That doesn't mean it's impossible for you. Your journey isn't meant to be understood by everyone. It's yours, and sometimes that means walking alone for a while. That means being your own biggest fan, your own motivator, your own reminder that you're capable. It means getting up, even when the world says stay down. It means trusting that every step you take, even the small ones, are building something no one else can see yet. Don't wait for the world to catch on. Don't wait for the support to show up. Start where you are with what you have. Start before you're ready, because belief isn't something that always comes from the outside. It's something you build moment by moment, choice by choice, action by action. Every time you show up, even when it's hard, that's belief. Every time you keep going, even without validation, that's belief. Sometimes it's the quiet seasons that prepare you for the loud ones. The times when no one's watching are the times when you grow the most. That's when you sharpen your skills, build your mindset, strengthen your heart. So when the spotlight does come, you're ready, you're grounded, you're unstoppable, but it starts with rising in the dark, rising without praise, rising when it's just you and your dream. You don't need permission to rise. You don't need a crowd to shine. You just need to decide that your future is worth fighting for. That your voice matters even if no one's listening yet. That your goals are valid even if no one else sees them. Because once you start moving, the world eventually notices.